Are you considering Pearland, Texas as your next home? Well, let me take you on an interactive Google Maps tour just to show you exactly what living in Pearland, Texas is really like. We'll cover the major roads, the commute times, the key destinations like downtown Houston, the airport, the medical center, and we'll even dive into some of the school districts, which there's a few that you need to know about. So stay tuned because the virtual tour will help you decide if Pearland is a perfect fit for you and your lifestyle. So let's jump on over to my screen and get started. All right, guys, well, the first thing that I want you to know about is the location of Pearland. Now, obviously, you can Google Pearland and find out where it is and locate it on the map. But if you don't know the way of the land, you're not really gonna understand what you're looking at. You're just gonna know where it's located. All right, so you can see here is south of Houston. Obviously, I have it highlighted in here. So we got Pearland. And then what I want to show you specifically is where it separates from east to west. So what we do, or what we say in Pearland, is basically 288 is that dividing line factor. So Highway 288, which is right here, we're gonna have West Pearland is gonna be west of 288, and East Pearland is gonna be anything east of 288. So when we say West Pearland or New Pearland, we're talking about Shadow Creek Ranch, Southern Trails, all of that good stuff. When we're talking about Old Pearland, we're talking about the east side. And sometimes more specifically, it's gonna get even a little deeper on the east side before we even call it the old town site type of Pearland. All right, so let's talk about the roads that you're gonna be navigating on a day-to-day basis. You need to know the way of the land, right? So the first thing I want you to know about when it comes to the east and the west side of Pearland is Highway 288. So Highway 288 is that main road or that main highway that's gonna take you directly into downtown Houston. So we have Highway 288 right here. It's gonna go smack right into downtown Houston and the medical center over here. And then we have Highway 35. So if you live on the east side of Pearland, you wanna take Highway 35, you can definitely do that. And then we have Beltway 8, AKA Sam Houston Parkway, which is gonna be right here. So if you live anywhere on this side of Pearland or this side of Pearland, you might be taking 35 to the Beltway to get over there to the west side of Houston or the east side, or you might continue to drive to 35 to get to 610 to take that into, or 35 to 45, which is 45 is right here, it's 45 South, one of the major freeways here in Houston. So you have multiple access points in and out of the city. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual main roads inside of Pearland. The first thing that you're gonna wanna know about is 518. So FM 518 is gonna stretch all the way past 288. It's gonna keep coming from west to east. It's gonna go directly through the heart of Pearland, and it's gonna go directly through the heart of Friendswood, and then it's gonna keep on going towards League City. So that is one major road that you need to know about. The next major road is gonna be Pearland Parkway. You're gonna hear Pearland Parkway a lot when you start researching Pearland. So Pearland Parkway is gonna come right here and get you straight into Sam Houston Parkway, AKA Beltway 8. And then next we're gonna have Dixie Farm Road. So Dixie Farm Road is gonna lead all the way to Highway 35, which is right here. And then here's Dixie Farm Road. That's gonna connect you from Highway 35 to Highway 45. Or Interstate 45, I should say. So that's Interstate 45. Again, if you live on the old side of Pearland, you have multiple access points in and out of the city to get to the major freeways. So you have Highway 35 here, Dixie Farm Road there, and Pearland Parkway here. All right, so let's talk about commute times. How long does it take to get to downtown Houston or even the medical center? So let's say Pearland, Texas, Pearland, the pin is gonna drop right there in the heart of Pearland. So it's gonna be the intersection of Highway 35 and FM 518. So that's gonna be our starting point. Obviously, whenever you are on the 288 side, it's gonna be a little bit different. So let's just say, for example, if you're coming from the old town Pearland and you need to get to downtown Houston, let's just say downtown Houston, and it is roughly a 28-minute drive. So not too bad. Now let's move that pin over and see exactly how long the drive is if we're coming from 288. So I'll drop a pin right here at basically where Shadow Creek Ranch is, and I'll do directions, and then we're gonna go to, let's say downtown Houston, and it is roughly a 20-minute drive. So if you're coming from the east side of Pearland, it really is only an 8-minute drive extra. But let's say the medical center. So the medical center is a hot spot, or a lot of people who live over there on the Shadow Creek Ranch side or Southern Trail side of 288. A lot of you guys are going to be coming from the medical field. So a lot of people in that area are working in the medical field. So let's say the Houston Medical Center, boom. and that is a 17-minute drive or a 15-minute drive, depending on which route you decide to take, coming from Shadow Creek Ranch. So if you work in the med center of Houston, you got 15 minutes to get there. Not too bad at all. Okay, so what about the closest airport? So the closest airport to Pearland is going to be Hobby Airport. Hobby Airport is not really the big international airport here in Houston. That's gonna be Bush. That's all the way up to the north side. But the closest airport here is going to be Hobby. Hobby does have a little bit of international flights here and there. The main airliner is going to be Southwest Airlines, so they do fly a little bit internationally. But let's say, so Pearland, Texas, we got right there in the heart of Pearland, and we're going to go to Hobby, William P. Hobby Airport, and that's going to take us a quick 16-minute drive. So 16 minutes to get to Hobby. Here's the airport here. Here's the heart of Pearland, just a straight shot down. 35. But how long does it take to get from Pearland to Bush Intercontinental? Well, it's gonna take you a good hour drive. Let's type it in and see, George Bush Intercontinental. And that's a good 45 minutes. That's with no traffic right now, but it's still about 41.1 miles. Long drive, you have several options. You could take 45, you could take Beltway 8 to get there. Just really all preference at the end of the day, but just go ahead and plan on 45 minutes to an hour to get to Bush. And if in the summertime that you really want to get down to the beach and get some, sand between your toes and having a good time down at the beach with the kiddos, how long does it take to get to Galveston Island? And it shouldn't take too long, but let's go ahead and take a look at how long that takes. So we got Galveston, Texas. And that is gonna take you about 45 minutes, depending on where you are located in Pearland. You could be on the, farther east, getting closer to I-45, or you could be closer to the Beltway and Pearland Parkway or 35. Doesn't matter, it's still gonna take you about 45 minutes to get to Galveston if you want to go have some fun on the island. I think now's a perfect time to mention, if you are looking for a more in-depth review of what it actually looks like to live in Pearland, Texas, make sure you check out our complete video guide or vlog tour that we did on Pearland. We even dive into some home tours. I talk about the most popular neighborhoods. We show you the inside of homes so you can see some really beautiful homes that were for sale, just to kind of give you an idea of the way of the land, what housing looks like here on the interior and the exterior. I'll leave a link somewhere up here so you can definitely check out that video. One thing that I do want to mention to you is the school districts here. Okay, so there's going to be a few school districts, but for the sake of this video, we're only going to discuss two of them, and that is going to be Alvin ISD and Pearland ISD. So we talked a lot about Shadow Creek Ranch or Southern Trails, or basically the west side of 288 or West Pearland, New Pearland. Right? So let me show you on my screen real quick what I'm talking about. So everything over here, we're going to use 288 as the dividing line factor right here. So everything on the west side of 288 is not going to be zoned to Pearland ISD. If you're in Pearland, more than likely you're going to be zoned to Alvin ISD, not Pearland. So make sure you keep that in mind whenever you are house shopping, because if you're looking specifically for Pearland ISD, the west side of 288 is not going to work for you. However, on the east side of 288, you will be in Pearland ISD. And then when it comes to high schools, depending on where you are located, you're either going to be zoned to Glenda Dawson High School, or you're going to be zoned to Pearland High School. So if you're looking for specific schools, or not just specific school districts, but if you're looking for specific schools, make sure you're keeping an eye and paying attention on where those properties are located and what schools they're going to be zoned to. Obviously, that's something that we can help you out with. Well, hey, that's all the time that we have for today's video. If you're looking for real estate content specifically for the Houston region, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and tap the bell icon so you can be the first to stay up to date with the current market here in Houston, Texas. My name is Andrew Lake. I didn't mention that. I'm with the Life in Houston Realty team, and we get calls and texts from people just like yourself all the time wanting to relocate here to the Houston, Texas region. So whether you are 9 days out or 9 months out, it does not matter. Feel free to give us a call. I'll leave all of my information in the description box down below, and my team and I would be delighted and honored to help make your transition to Houston a smooth one. I'm signing off for now. Until next time.